Yeah, let's kick it off. So Jahleel Coleman. Have I got that right?
Yeah,
Am I saying that right?
100%. Jaleel. Everybody calls me Jay though. So
So Jay Coleman.
yeah, Jay. No, Jay. Just Jay.
Just straight Jay.
Now, if you want to call me like or my stage name or something like that, is Jahleel C. But everybody calls me Jay, so
Right.
Jay works.
So we're gonna use Jay.
Jay is
We're
perfect.
using Jay.
Yep.
Using Jay as a young entrepreneur, social influencer, development consultant based out of the greater Philadelphia area, sharpening his skills by creating and running multiple businesses, dealing with live empowerment events, social media, digital branding, marketing, and professional speech coaching has yielded him opportunities to train and mentor thousands of business owners, some who have even created multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses. Jahleel, or Jay, specializes in both brand building and personal development, especially using the power of social media. He often speaks to diverse audiences on various topics such as the importance of financial freedom, brand development, physical wellness, and spiritual awareness. Jahleel has helped thousands of people around the world understand the importance of living your best life, but making sure they never forget their journey along the way.
100%.
I mean-
it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Hearing that was kind of weird because I'm like listening to my bio and I'm like, wow, like did that really happen?
right.
Like, and when did that happen? That's the other point.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Wow.
Because you're just doing what you do, right?
That's it. Like I have my head down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not like, honestly, I know that what I do for digital media and all that kind of stuff, and for social, like you have to post about it and you have to, to show people.
Right.
But if I could really tell you, and my guys, like they can vouch for me. Like literally, we're focused on the work.
Yeah.
So it's just my head's down, I'm focusing, and then moments like this, I get a chance to look up and I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's
No.
it's really cool, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me today. Like
Hey,
literally,
our
this is
pleasure.
amazing.
I mean, yeah, seriously, our pleasure. Well, man, like seriously, I'm reading that right myself, and I'm getting the same sort of feeling in a sense.
Joe, when you're on.
Oh yeah. We gotta make sure.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. So I'm reading that. I'm reading this bio, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, I mean, like, what a life, right? Like, what a life, seriously. But as you said, I mean, you've just got you got your head down, you're grinding, you're just doing your thing, right? You're doing what becomes natural to you. You're not even pushing all the time for this stuff, so to speak. I mean, it's a grind, and whatnot. But I want to touch on a couple of things, and I want to ask you, and going back on your story, like, why entrepreneurship? And I want to ask with that is, what have some of the results been for you as a result of entrepreneurship? Because you made it really clear, right? Entrepreneurship was the thing for you, right?
100%. Yeah. So I think that it's so funny. This question, it usually ends up becoming like funny, right? Pete, you're gonna laugh. All right. So here's the story. Why entrepreneurship? One, you're talking to somebody that has been literally, and when I say literally, I mean like literally programmed to be a leader, like literally programmed, right? So my dad and my mom, that's where it all starts, right? I tell people all the time, I am the byproduct of good parenting, like legit. So my parents, I don't have that background where it's like, I went from struggle, from nothing, like, living in the hood and all that kind of, like that wasn't my story. Now, I know people that lived in the hood, like I was in those areas, sometimes like in passing, like from friends or, like, or cousins and stuff like that, like growing up in Philly, because I grew up between South Jersey, which you guys can see, behind us or whatever, and then also Philadelphia. So it was like, it's literally a 20-minute drive. So I was here multiple times a day, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like I would come over to the city 3 times a day. Right. And I consider Philly home, you know what I'm saying? So both of my parents, they really, really loved me. They really poured everything they could into me. My dad, started a church from 25 people, turned it into an organization that was doing worldwide ministry with thousands of people all across the world. My mom was that loving stay-at-home mom that was at everything, you know what I'm saying, at every basketball game, every, whatever. So I say all that to say that every single morning before I would leave the house, my mom, she would literally like tell me, you are the head, not the tail. You are above only, not beneath. You are the lender, not the borrower. You can do all things that you put your mind to, period, right? Yeah. So every single day that was programmed into me. My dad saying the same thing. I mean, there would be times where, like, my dad is calling me the most brilliant kid that he knows, and I'm bringing home a 65. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you say that to somebody who, Yeah. So they literally programmed me for success, I feel like. And I never saw either one of them work a job.
Right.
My family is either you're an entrepreneur or you're an artist or you're both. Like, that's just my family, right? So, entrepreneurship for me was important because that was all I saw. That was literally like all I knew. And I remember when I was working a job, I was working for somebody else, and what happened was I was literally saying to myself, Jay, what are you doing here? It was two instances that changed my life for the rest of my life. The first one was I was in Radio Shack, because that's the last place I've ever worked. And I'm in Radio Shack, and I'm there. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm walking out of Radio Shack. Now, I'm saying to myself, Jay, what the heck are you doing working at Radio Shack at 3 o'clock in the morning? Like, what are you doing here, right?
Yeah.
It was like the first time I felt like I was a slave, like legit, right? Second time, or the second instance that really like made me like, wow, was I was looking at the CEO of Radio Shack. He came into the store. He wasn't cocky. He wasn't arrogant. He was none of those things. He was like super cool, super chill, man, you know, whatever. And it was the moment that really stood out to me was when he walked out the store and I couldn't. And it was that moment that I made a promise to myself, and I was like, yo, this is not cool. Yeah. Like, I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I started praying to God, and I was like, Lord, show me anything that I can do, like, to, you know, whatever. And entrepreneurship came, man. And I tell people all the time, I didn't go find entrepreneurship, or excuse me, entrepreneurship didn't find me. I found entrepreneurship because I went seeking. Yeah. And I was able to find what I was looking for. And so, you know, I tell people along that process, I developed this really bad disease that's called fed-upitis, right? And fed-upitis is when you get fed up with somebody telling you you have to be to work at a certain time. You get fed up with somebody telling you this is how much time you have to spend with your family. You get fed up with a grown man telling you, oh, this is how much time you have to go to the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. Like, you get fed up. And I was fed up. So I knew I had to do whatever it took to change my situation, and that be it. So, yeah.
And that's so cool, because there's a lot of people fed up like this, and going like, what do we do? Like, so what were those steps for you to go from being in Radio Shack to being here, doing that stuff?
Yeah, to do what I'm doing now. So I think that one of the things that was most important for me, the next step was finding what business to do. Like, what was I going to do, right? So at the time, my brother was involved in a business. It was a network marketing business. And so I was looking at the business from the outside looking in. I just trusted my brother. So I said to my brother, like, I trust you. Show me what you do. And he can vouch for me. I literally hounded this man for a year straight, doing nothing but asking him questions, like every day. I would sleep on his couch every single weekend. Like, literally, go ask him. I promise you he's going to tell. I'm telling the truth. I was there every single weekend, sleeping on his floor, asking him about business, about entrepreneurship, about how to work with people, about how to build relationships, authentic relationships. I was asking him things about, like, the aspects of our business and stuff. I spent thousands of dollars trying to figure out how to do this business successfully, all to make a whopping $1,500 my first year in network marketing. Now, I don't know what you do when you make $1,500 for the year. Mind you, my boss, like, I didn't quit my job. I don't have that luxury story. I was fired from my job for pursuing my business. Because Radio Shack was saying that I was in conflict of interest because the business that I was involved in at the time was a technology business. Yeah. We were selling cell phones and stuff like that. Right. So they were like, it's a conflict of interest. It really was my boss. He was a hater. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was just mad at the fact that he knew, like, I was going to be great. I don't know. But, like, he told on me, had this long conversation in the back where he's like, you know, oh, well, you know, there's some things, company policy. And I stopped him out because he had this lady on the phone for a conference call. And I'm like, listen, man, are you telling me, all of this for, like, me to say or you to say that I'm fired? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we could have saved all of this. And he was like, I said, I'm letting both of you guys know that you're going to be in my book one day. And I got up. I was out. So after moving, legit. After, no, yeah. Honestly, that's really what happened. And you know, like, long story short, guys, I think that my next step, and if I could give other people their next step, would be you have to find your reason why.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, you always hear that with, people like my mentor, Dr. Eric Thomas. Shout out to him. Shout out to CJ and Carl, the whole crew, Jamal. Literally, you have to find your reason why. Yeah. Once you find your reason why, the how will figure itself out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But when your why is big enough, the how figures itself. And I think that what a lot of people don't do is they get stuck in the how. And they make that the first thing. Yeah, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do? And how am I going to get the money? And how am I, and I need the logo, and I need an LLC to file my business. And look, no, you don't need any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, right. The first thing that you need is to figure out why. Because I'm telling you, when you figure out the why, everything else literally figures out itself, because you have the reason why it's going to drive you. When you're not getting sales, when you're not getting income, cash flow coming in, when people are quitting on you, when other people around you are encouraging you to stop because it doesn't make sense for you to do this, and blah, 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 all that stuff. That why is going to be the thing that's like, hold on, no. It's something greater that I'm doing. It's something greater. It's a bigger purpose that I'm going for. That's allowing. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you connect with the why? When do you?
Early.
Yeah, I feel like this is an early in the piece thing for you, right? Yeah.
Early, because again, so here's another thing. It keeps coming back to my parents. My parents are older. My dad is 69. He's going to be 70 in January. My mom is 61, I think. I'm going to be nice because I don't want my mom to see this and be like, boy. But no, my parents are older. So it was already from 18, I was already how am I going to pay off all the expenses of the house? Yeah. How am I going to buy my dad his dream car? His dream car is a Bentley, baby blue. He wants it baby blue Bentley. I have to. I feel it's my duty. Yeah. They took care of me. I didn't go to college. You know what I'm saying? I went to school for 1 year, community school. Yeah. I realized that I didn't want to take that route. And I asked my parents, because they were like, well, what are you going to do? Whatever, because you're not going to sit here, eat, potato chips on our couch all day. Yeah. That was never going to be the case. But, I knew that I had to find a way to take care of them. Even though they feel like it's not my obligation, and they always tell me that, it is. I'm there. That you took care of me, I'm gonna take care of you. Yeah. My family, my nieces, I don't want them to grow up in lack. My nephew, I don't want them to see his uncle, sitting around being a bum. Right. I want them to see me working. I want them to see me grinding. I want them to see me, doing what I'm doing, and then be able to financially take care of the responsibilities that I need to. So if I need to pay for their college, and granted, my family is doing, they're all entrepreneurs and stuff, so they can afford college and stuff. But if I wanted to, I could do. If I want to stop and take them and bring them to you guys to New Zealand, let's go check it out. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah. That's a big part of your why, right?
It's huge. My family.
You've got all these different contributors towards your why.
100%.
Part of it is your passion. It's actually it's picking me up. Another part of it is your family.
Yeah.
Are there other things that are in your life?
Yeah, man. I got so many. Look, behind us, this is my why. Yeah. Philly, I love Philly. This is my home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of
standing on top of it.
Yeah. 100. Well, thank you. But yeah, when I think of Philly, when I look at this, man, there are so many other people, and I'm just gonna be honest. If I can, just being a young black man or a young African American, whatever you want to call it, there are so many other kids who are looking at me, and typically from the places that I come from, or if you look like me, it's only one of two ways that you're going to get out. Either you're going to get out by playing basketball or playing football or, playing baseball like my best friend, right? Yeah. Or you're going to sing or rap, that's it. Yeah. You're either going to play ball or you're going to be an artist. Yeah. I want to show them there's another way. I want to show them that there's more that you can do. I want to show them what that looks like real time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's another reason why I see homeless people on the street. It's always been a dream of mine. I've always been passionate about homeless people. I would literally, when I was younger, I would cry, just looking at them, just trying to figure out how is that possible in this vast land of America where there's wealth and where there's so many other people who are the rich are getting richer and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. How is it that I am seeing people not looking in trash cans, trying to figure out how they're going to eat? Yeah, 100%. So it's a dream of mine to have a state-of-the-art homeless facility in which we're going to be able to provide, entrepreneurship classes. We're going to be able to provide job opportunities. We're going to be able to provide, state-of-the-art housing that looks good, not like some bum, trashy, smelling like pee kind of facility. You know what I'm saying?
This is going to be better than the facilities that are made for business, right?
Yeah.
Right?
State-of-the-art.
State of the art.
State of the art. Like, I want people to feel like they're at home.
Yeah.
I want to build people. And that's the thing that I tell, like, a lot of people that I've been blessed to have followed me. I started building people before I got paid to do that.
Yeah.
So before getting paid to build brands or build people's, self-image or self-esteem or whatever, like, I was already doing that. But just growing up in my background, having a faith-based background, like, people were always at our house, like, just talking to my parents, and so we were always doing a lot of stuff like that. So
Did you ever feel?
B, let's go live. Yeah, let's go live.
Did you ever feel called, so to speak, to follow what your dad had done? I mean, essentially, he's out there. He's an influencer.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that? Like, was there ever a divide in the sense that, or is it the same thing? So you can combine everything that you do, and so your dad's in ministry, right?
Yeah.
Your dad's in ministry, right? And so often we say someone's in ministry.
Yeah.
But actually, ministry is across the board. It's world.
100%. 100%.
Everything we do.
100%.
In everything we do, right? Did you ever have that moment where you could you combine those two things and say, yeah, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. This is ministry, or did you ever feel at a point, do I follow my dad's footsteps?
So here's what's crazy.
Right.
So it was in this world of spirituality or whatever else that you want to call it or whatever. There are things like, this is just period. Like, it's just a general term where it's like to prophesy, right? Prophesy means to cause something to come or whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
So to prophesy, it's been prophesied over my life where it was like I was going to be great. Like, I was going to follow in my dad's footsteps, that I was going to do what my dad's spiritual father did.
And
Where
this is when you're young as well.
like I was a baby.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And so it was kind of like just destined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say that to say, I'm trying to tie the dots, make sure I connect the dots.
Yeah.
I initially thought that I was going to be doing exactly what my dad is doing, which is preaching on a pulpit every Sunday, that whole thing, doing what my brother's doing. My brother is now the pastor of our home church, so it's like, he's every Sunday there. Yeah. But now I realize that I'm doing ministry, every day. Yeah. Like, I'm doing ministry by picking up my phone and encouraging somebody. Like 21,000 people every day get a chance to be, blessed or ministered to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Including.
Oh, see, like, right. you guys are from New Zealand. This is blowing my mind right now.
That's the reach, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, what we do and is we confine it to four walls, right?
Right.
Like, generally speaking.
Right.
The reach that you have pulled us from Auckland, New Zealand, which is about, 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning, right, a day
it's
here.
crazy.
An
18-hour flight.
Okay. And we're here in Philadelphia with you because of the reach, the impact, the influence, the empowerment.
Praise God.
That brings us here.
That's about to make me cry.
Like our dreams, like seeing us achieve more than we ever thought possible. Like, I don't know what it was like at the beginning when you started, but to think, and now it's gone as far as New Zealand, and
bro,
that's mind blowing. But that's the passion, that's the drive.
I know, like, literally, it's about to get me emotional. No, for real, because I prayed, y'all. Like, I prayed to God when I first started. I prayed. I said, God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I know that you got it. Just show me, and I swear, like, and I know you're not necessarily supposed to swear, but, like, I swear by your name, I'm going to use these platforms that I have to build your name. I promise you I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But what's amazing about what's happening is that if you didn't know, like, if we weren't all believers, you wouldn't even know necessarily that my platform is talking about God. Because I don't have to say the Bible to tell you what the Bible is saying. I live it. The greatest, and this is something I want everybody to remember. It was a quote that I forget who said it, but the greatest sermon that you'll ever preach will be seen, not lived. Yeah. So what's amazing about that is that I want people to let my life's work speak for me. I don't have to preach you down. I just want you to see my life, and then once you see my life, be able to say to yourself, wow, like, there's something different about that dude. Like there's something different about what's happening because of.
Well, I'm gonna be on the other side here and agree with you because I've got to be honest. I haven't had the faith upbringing that you and Joe have had.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah, I'm totally inspired by every single part, and so that's the cool thing about choosing to be a motivator and combining it all together.
Absolutely.
Is that it does reach that far.
It does.
And because I was going to say, you know, if someone hasn't got a faith-based background, or what would you encourage them to look for in order to live their dream?
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. I would say, because people ask me, like, right, so there's time.
You have to have a faith. Is what
so I'm literally about to speak to that point. Yeah. So, like, there's people who hire me, you know, to come and speak, you know, and they'll tell me, like, beforehand, like in the email or whatever, when they, you know, reach out to the team, they'll say, listen, we don't want Jahleel talking about religious stuff. Like, we don't want him talking about God because we have a diverse group. Yeah. I say, okay, no problem, right? You won't know it. You won't know it. People see, like, okay, and can I be honest? This is not even being cocky. Like, this is like I'm just straight talking facts, okay? So people say all the time, there's something about you. Like, there's like this thing. Like, I can't put my name on it, but like there's this thing, right? That energy has brought you guys from an 18-hour flight over here to talk with me. You see what I'm saying? Right? That thing is God. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't hide that. Like, it's in me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I say all that to say that I tell people, okay, I won't talk about God, but that doesn't mean he's not going to come through. Yeah. Now, when people follow up with me, because I won't do it on your platform. I won't do it from this stage. But when your people come up to me and ask me, listen, Jay, I'm going through this. I need help with this. What's this advice? The first thing that I say is I speak to God. And I say, do you really want to know? Can I really be honest with you? Are you really ready to handle what I'm about to say to you? And they say, yeah. And I say, I did it through this. I did it through reading my favorite book. And of course, what are they going to ask me? What's your favorite book? It's the Bible. Or I'll call it the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Then they get home, they Google it, and they're like, he was talking about the Bible? Oh, man. But I say all that to say to you guys that, you know, the person who doesn't believe in God, the person who doesn't have faith, the person who doesn't do whatever, I'm not telling you to serve the God that I serve. But all I am going to tell you is that my life is a direct reflection of me serving the God that I serve. And I believe that if you're not going to put it in a God, I don't know how one can take on all of those battles without having some type of source that they believe in, that they can, like, come on, y'all. Like, can we take a second to, like, just look at the skyline and look at the beauty of this? Even though man created all of these buildings, like, who gave them the thought to do it? Is God. You know what I'm saying? I believe. Yeah. I'm not trying to push that on anybody, and I don't want people to listen to this podcast and say because they're not a Christian or whatever that they're not going to follow suit with, you know, whatever, like with what I'm saying, or follow suit with me, because I don't drive it down people's throat. If you look at my timeline, you don't even see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see scriptures like every day and like post it all in your face like, oh, you have to believe in God. Yeah, like, no, you know?
You just have to believe in something, right?
I would encourage you to.
That belief encourages you to believe in yourself, you know?
100%.
When I speak, I get people, because people will choose what they want to pick up from the messages you've heard, right? So I've had some people who go, like, are you religious? And then others who don't.
Yeah.
This is where they are on the
100%.
journey of life. But the biggest takeaway is have a dream, believe in it, find the stuff that inspires and motivates you.
That's it. Because I'm going to be honest with you.
There is a greater power.
100%. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Just because I see a Buddhist, I don't look down at that Buddhist. Or a Muslim, I don't look down at that Muslim. If you're doing good work, you're doing good work. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't get caught up in that. I think that's what happens with religion. Religion, it divides people instead of bringing people together. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree. And I also think that if everybody is truly pursuing truth, and so I'm on the same page as you, right? Similar background and upbringing, right? So for me personally, it's Father, Son, Holy Spirit, it's Jesus Christ, right? So that is me personally, right? And through my experiences. But I believe that when people are genuinely pursuing truth, I mean, they will find truth. And that's actually what Christ said as well.
100%.
You'll find it if you're going to pursue truth.
100%. 100%.
And I feel like we're all on the journey of truth, right? And so I totally agree with you.
100%.
Yeah.
You guys are spot on.
Yeah.
You guys are spot on.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So,
I have an answer for you.
yeah. So
You guys want some more water?
yeah.
You good?
Actually, that'd be good.
All right,
Thanks.
perfect. Yep. Uh-oh.
So I'm thinking, you're taking people back to their why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with the why. And so then I'm going, okay, so people come to your conferences, people come, they hear you speak, they watch you, as you've been talking about, you know, it's my life that speaks the greatest message. Right?
100%.
And so you're inspiring people, you're motivating people, and then you're coaching thousands of people, help them find their passions to live the most fullest and fulfilling lives, right? So aside from the why, so okay, let's say I find my why, and I go, okay, right, so my calling is, well, like, whatever that looks like, okay? For me, I enjoy the public speaking.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I need to communicate. I feel like that, you know, in the way that I would coin it, that God's got something going for me in terms of communication. So what would your advice be for the next steps? What does somebody do for that next steps? They've figured out their why. Now it's time to start putting in some action now. Now what does somebody do?
I'm so glad you asked me that question. And the reason why is because I think that so many people get, again, stuck on the how at first, right? Then they switch back. They revert back to the why. So, okay, we got the why figured out. That's cool, right? Now I got to go back to the how, right? And they don't know what to do. And what I have an issue with a lot of these inspirational speakers and all that kind of stuff, they talk so much about mindset, but they don't talk about the next steps. I love Gary Vee. So much, right? I love his raw energy. I love his, you know, whatever, like his whole demeanor, right? His just aura. I love that grit and that grunt, right? Most people get, like, at first, you know what? I didn't like Gary Vee, but now I do because I relate to it because I'm like, yeah, man, I'm grinding right now. You know what I'm saying?
He's all in, right?
100%. But he's all in with results-based activity.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I believe that there's 2 activities that every business needs to be a part of, right? So you need to be involved with IPA or VPA, right? Income-producing activity or value-producing activity.
Right.
All right? So income-producing activity is obviously the activity that produces income. It's very self-explanatory. Same with value, right? So I think that the next action steps that you need to take is to identify your time. The biggest thing that happens with a lot of entrepreneurs that they do not like really think through or look through is they never think about their time. So it's like when I get off of work, I don't know what to do with that time. Or what a lot of people make the biggest mistake, and they quit their jobs because they're so passionate about entrepreneurship, and then they're like, oh, I'm good, right? Like, you know, I'm just going to figure it out. But then they don't know what to do with their time. It's just this big day that they've never known because the job, you know, the structure of the job has it in such, or puts you in such a position where it's like the thing, and you have tasks given to you all day. So the next steps that everybody, I would say, once they figure out their why, to now figure out their how, or do what they need to do with their how, you need to figure out what are those activities within the IPA and the VPA, right? So what are the activities that I need to do to produce income?
Right.
That's what we need to think about, because business is the exchange of money, right? We need to exchange money. So if you're producing income, or what things can you do in your business to produce income? Does that look like you know, marketing? And let's say like my friend, we were talking earlier today. I had a meeting before here. We came here from there. He has a coffee business, right? So what does he need to do every day to produce income for him to be able to make more sales? Does that look like, you know, I don't know if he's going to run Facebook ads, right? Or is he going to, you know, put flyers out in the local area and local, you know, I don't know, library or, you know, markets and all that kind of stuff? Is he going to put flyers out? Is he going to talk to parent-teacher conferences and try to get some coffee sponsorships there because people drink coffee there? I don't know. Like, what are the activities in your business that are going to drive more revenue? This is for the early person. I'm not talking about the person who's already, you know, vested in. Now, of course, that activity is important for them too, but a lot of people don't know how to identify the thing that's going to make them the money up front. They focus on all the other things, the logo and all. That's not the thing that matters the most. The thing that matters the most is what are the hardcore things that my business foundation is built on. So every business that I get involved with, if I'm working with like, well, I don't want to say, when I say I'm talking about Magic Moment Media, right? So Magic Moment Media, we're a full service content creative agency. What we do is we help different businesses who are either Fortune 500 companies or local small businesses or something like that, to create content for social media. That's the goal. Right. So whenever we're developing a company or a brand, if we're doing a rebrand or if we're identifying the brand, all that kind of stuff, the first thing that we start with is what's the purpose statement of this brand? Mm-hmm. Like, what is the purpose statement? Can you give me one sentence that's going to completely summarize what your thing is? I know what that is for my brand, Jahleel C. I know what that is for Magic Moment and any other business I'm a part of, right? So identifying the purpose statement. Then now moving from there into the value producing activity or the income producing activity, right? So let's talk about value producing activity. Right. Activity that produces value. A lot of people, they hit hardcore from the rip on buy my thing, right? It's like Gary Vee. Have you guys ever read his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook?
Yeah, I've read, yeah.
All right, perfect. So you know a lot of people in their brand strategies, they're just throwing out right hooks. Yeah. Buy my thing, buy. Yeah. Do you know that I've only, in the 4.5, 5 years that I've been building, and then the last 2 years where I haven't been doing, 1 year that I haven't been doing network marketing, I've just been fully focused on just my personal brand and my business. I've never done a hardcore buy my thing except once. Now, why? Because I'm building so much value in my brand right now. Yeah. When I tell you, I'm kind of like Gary Vee in the sense where I believe so much in free value add. Because people, that is how you build loyalty. Yeah, you build customer loyalty before they ever become a customer. Right. So they believe in me, and because they believe in me, they will do whatever it is where I go, whatever it is I sell, they will buy. Yeah. If I drop, like for instance, like I know because of you guys haven't followed me, I know the fact that if you came 18 hours to talk with me, if I dropped a book right now, you both will buy it. Yeah. Why? Because you are attached to the value that I produced for you. You don't care about me. Like, honestly, you really don't care about me. Just like I don't care about Gary Vee. I don't care about Dr. E. I don't care about that. What we care about is the value that those people provide. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So what can your business's value add be? That's what I always think about.
And that value comes as a result of doing your passion, right?
100%.
You can't fake that. You've got to be who you are.
Yeah.
On stage, in business.
100%. Yeah. You know why I love Dr. E so much? I really love that man. I really love CJ. They are exactly who they say they are. Yeah. Like, literally. Yeah. Like, I remember when I first met Dr. E was maybe 2.5, 3 years, no, maybe more than that, maybe 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And when I met Dr. E, we were talking, and we were in the back because my big bro, Nehemiah Davis, shout out to Neo, I was running his conference. That's a whole nother conversation I could talk about serving your way to the top. That's a huge important thing. But I was like literally changing Nehemiah's shoes. Like I was working as the stagehand to just help put the event together and make it flow. So he put me in touch with Dr. E because Dr. E was the keynote for that event. And I was talking to Dr. E a little bit before, and then while he was talking, I was talking to CJ the entire time. And we were just rapping and building or whatever. And I never thought that like once I would ask for their number that I would really get it. CJ gave me his number on the spot. It was like, call me if you need anything. Now, again, similar to a story that you were telling me before we started, like I didn't think that it was really a thing. Like I didn't think like, oh, he's really going to answer. I called that man, he answered. Wow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Dr. E, every single time we text or whatever, like literally I conversations where Dr. E would just pray on the phone with me. You know what I'm saying? Like just helping me to grow. And whenever I have advice, I can reach out to them and call them. They're the same like literally last story. Okay. I went to Detroit. When I went to Detroit, I know, thanks. Yeah. I went to Detroit I went to Detroit to meet with Dr. E to go and meet up with him and Jamal, right? Jamal runs like social and all that kind of stuff and marketing stuff. So I went to the facility to meet with them, and Dr. E was late, right? Now, he was late because he spends time with his wife every single day around like, I think it's between like 1 and 3 o'clock or something like that. Yeah. Right, yeah. Every day it's ingrained in his schedule that he's meeting with his wife. Yeah. And I wanted to meet and come at that time, and he was late. But he was late because he had that in his schedule. So I waited about 45 minutes for him to get there, right? But I'm saying that to say that on the stage when he's talking about giving 120 in his marriage, it's the same. Like I literally saw the real-time application of it. So I went on a long tangent just now, but I'm saying that to say that the authenticity is still there. But coming back to the value add, because I think this is important, because I really want to give people action steps that they can take. I want people to think about, if you haven't started your business or you're in the beginning stage of starting your business, what is your value add going to be? How can you find some type of value add to give to the market or your niche market of whatever it is? It's important, because if you try to come out the hook swinging, buy my, that's what a lot of network marketers do wrong. Buy my, here's my product, and they just post it like spam all over their Instagram accounts and stuff like that.
Right.
You will never win in business. You will never win. You have to build free value before you can actually go out and ask for the sale later, because you want to build a following. If you don't build followers, build a following.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, and building that following is like you've got 20,000 and you know what kind of engagement you have for those 20,000, and I imagine it's really high, right?
Yeah,
And
well, like, let me...
just do about
Yeah.
hashtag,
Yeah.
Myself got
Yeah.
35,000.
Yeah.
When I do a comment, I'm only getting 100 likes.
Yeah. I think that was crazy about, like, I look at, like, the impressions. Like, last week we did, like, 75,000 impressions, right? That can grow. Like, I want that number to grow. Me and my team, we always talk about, like, increasing my engagement and stuff, you know, things like that. I think that I just lost my train of thought. Wait, what did you just ask me? I'm sorry.
About engagement with your social media.
Yeah. I wanted to make a point. Can I tell you that I really don't care about that 20,000 following?
You really?
I don't.
You really don't care.
I don't. Guess what I care about? You ready for this? I care about the 1,000 people who will really rock with me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I don't care about the 20,000 followers. That looks great. That's why the brands call me to market my product. That's why they do all that. What I want everybody to do, what I'm asking everybody to do, is to not focus on building the number in their following. Build a core 1,000 people, like a real 1,000 people that really, really bang with you, like that really care. Like that really DM you and thank you. Like I have like 99 plus like DM requests right now, like that I haven't looked at. All of these people from all over the world, by God's grace, to reach out to me and say, Jahleel, you inspired me. Jahleel, you did this. Jahleel, you did this, whatever, right? I care about those people. The big number doesn't matter, because I would much rather have 5,000 people and get real, like those 5,000 people really know me and really bang with me. Rather than 20,000, because guess what? If you're building, I'm sorry to cut you off, but if you're building a brand without intentionality to convert on that brand and monetize your following, you are not doing social media the right way. So the goal is to build a real following, not followers. And then it was crazy. I was talking to my homegirl the other night. I had dinner with my homegirl. Her name is Dana Chanel, and her husband, Donnell Morris, right? And they have an application called Sprinkle of Jesus and Love Carter magazine. And their reach is crazy. Like, she's got 5 million downloaders. She's doing really, really well, multiple 6 figures every quarter. Like, it's just crazy, right? The biggest thing about her, what she said to me, so I'm actually, what's the word? I'm going back on myself. I'm striking myself from what I just said. I'm not even building followers or a following. I want to build believers. You know what I'm saying? Building believers of the brand who really care, who really know that, and you guys can tell, like, the energy that you get from my social, like, every day, like, what's up, get it done, like, it's the same energy. It's literally the same energy. I'm really the same, that I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? So build the believers, not the following.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Hey, I'm like on my way of time and kind of.
Yeah, what are we at? Oh, 141? Yeah, we still have like 20 minutes.
We're good, but I know we've got a list of questions.
Yeah.
Man, we've got to nail these. And we are, which is cool. But, like, I don't know about you guys, but when you get into these discussions, your head just goes all over the place.
But I feel like what's been going on, like what you were just talking about, right? Like, was it IPA?
IPA and VPA.
VPA, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff, like, I'm just, like, the comments are just like...
Oh, they going crazy?
Yeah,
oh,
like,
that's awesome.
This is where it's
Oh,
at,
man,
right?
thank you.
But I feel like there's so much in this, you know. We do have to get through a lot of this stuff. There's so much, man, that you bring to the table.
I
It's just
appreciate
unreal.
that.
It's just,
I appreciate
so much
that.
value, man.
Thank
So
you.
much value.
Thank you.
But, like, yeah, totally. And so, of course, education is always a big part of my story and what I hear from other people. And I was at a table the other night, and the mum was saying, I've got to send my kid off to boarding school, and remember I've got to get into this university. And I know here in the States, the university is like a really prestigious thing of culture, right? I know you went to a community college. I don't know if you went off to boarding school, but I'm not sure. And yet I see you, here's a post jumping on a private jet. I'm meeting with these people. I'm talking about making K's into millions.
I just posted that the other day. Respect. The fact that you saw that is dope.
And so it's not all about, that's just, again, it's just part of it. It's a byproduct of the awesome person you are.
Oh, thank you, man.
But in which way, what is your view on education? Because
great question. Yeah, really great question. Can I also bring up a point right before I answer that question?
Please.
Can I please show that was what I was just talking about just 2 seconds ago, where I was talking about building believers versus building a following or followers? Because you just quoted the captions that I just wrote, right? Yeah. Do you realize that is the byproduct of what I'm talking about right now? Yeah. Right. You care. Yeah. You care. Like,
connected, right?
Exactly. I don't even know how much engagement that particular post did, but that's what I'm saying. I don't care. I care about the people who will walk up to me and say that, because that is what I care about. Me being ingrained in your mind. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but for me, when I saw that post, it was saying that you kind of tied in the end goal there as well, right?
Right.
You're like, we're going to turn the K's into M's so that I can give back.
Right.
And so for me personally, I was like, I carried that. I was like, Joe, you got to make the K's, you got to turn them K's into the M's, because also for me, my heart is giving back as well, right? Let's grow and let's bring people on the journey of that growth and development as well. Right?
100%.
Like, let's get them where we're going.
100%.
Let's get, the following.
At 100%. Right? Legacy, wealth, like impact. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. All right, but to answer your question, my take on education, which is very important, I am not down on education. I'm not down on college. I believe in college. Any colleges that want to book me for your next speech, I would love that. I welcome that. Thank you in advance, right? No, but honestly, the biggest thing is I love education. I hate waste of time. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to school to just basically work a job, not even work a job that you don't know that if you want to work that job or not. Does that make sense the way I just said that too?
Yeah, no, it does.
So what I mean, No. What I mean is, I go to school, I don't know what kind of career I want, but I just go to school because that sounds like that's the thing to do. Yeah, and I don't know what job I really want to do. So I'm just going to go waste $20,000, $30,000 a year or more and just figure it out as I go. Sure. That is stupid to me. Yeah. I looked at, when I was younger, I was blessed to have a really cool perspective and a unique perspective. My oldest brother, thank God for him, right? He literally challenged my thinking one day, in which I was talking to him about going to school and all that kind of stuff. And he helped me realize that I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I always loved music and young people, so I wanted to do that. But it wasn't necessarily the path that I needed to take to get here, which is really, I love this. I love what I'm able to do now. So I'm saying all of that to say that if you're in the process of not really knowing what you want to do with your life and with your education and all of that kind of stuff, like, don't just go to school because that sounds like that's the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, Jay-Z said this the other day, and it was a really, really important interview that he did on Tidal. And I think it's so important. And I'm about to say it, but I'm not going to say the actual word. But he was like, F the thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like forget the thing. You know what he meant by F, right? F the thing. F the thing that's like, oh, this is just. Oh, okay, cool, perfect. So it was like, literally, it was just like, forget the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what is your journey? What's your path? Like, what's your thing? Right. Do that. Yeah. And even if you don't know, I always suggested people to go to community school first. And then work a job or whatever in the interim to make some money for yourself while you figure everything out. Because you save yourself so much more money than just simply doing like school where you're gonna waste money. 100%. So I looked at it like a business. Yeah. Like I was like, man, am I gonna be able to get a return on my investment for real? Yeah. Because I always thought like entrepreneurial, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it didn't make sense for me to go to school. However, if you know you want to be a doctor. Like my cousin is in medical school right now. She is fired up about like medicine. Like she loves it. Like that's her thing.
Yeah.
Please go to school and get straight A's, because I might need you one day. I need you to get all them A's, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like I need you to get all those A's. So like I don't want you.
As a doctor, you want to know she knows what she's doing.
100%. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the one. Exactly. I don't want the one that wanted to go to be an entrepreneur. I want the one that was you was valedictorian, my man. That's the one I want. You know what I mean? So so that was my thing. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to and I really want to encourage all of you guys out there who are people that don't know, don't just go do the thing. Like do something with purpose. Yeah. And even if you don't know that purpose, it's a way to kind of figure it out without having to waste so much time and money. Because bigger than the money you invest, $100,000 if you're in debt, or $75,000 or $50,000, contrary to what people believe as like, oh, I can't really, change my life doing that. I don't care about that. You can overcome that. Money is an idea. So literally you can think of something that can like erase that debt. Okay. Right. Yeah. For me, what I care about most is, time. 4 years. Can't get back. Mm-hmm. Time is worth more than money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to ask you, what has been one of the biggest decisions that you've had to make in the journey?
Wow, man, that's a loaded question.
Dude,
I got to pick one decision?
You can pick 1, 2, 3. What's something that strikes your mind that,
The best decision that I think that I made... this is a loaded question.
Yeah.
I think that the best decision that I feel like I made was to follow my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like following my purpose was important for me. So, like that if it was one that I had to pick, it would be following my purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be it.
And you become that amazing communicator, And
Thank you.
You make people feel good. I imagine when you walk down the street, you're the kind of guy that engages with people,
100%.
Because you see that every opportunity you have
100%.
is an opportunity
100%.
to motivate and inspire. I'm curious, like just thinking about the world and where we are and kind of issues we have of people really seeming to be afraid to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been traveling around with Joe's 1-year-old and
oh wow. Oh wow, the baby came with you?
Yeah.
Family, yeah.
Baby,
oh, that's awesome.
Which is cool, right? And most part of a journey is that you share it with your whole family.
Mm-hmm.
But as we go around all these places, like this baby gets so much attention, and oh, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Cute, smile, hi. That baby in 10 years isn't going to be getting the same interaction with the community.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We get to the stage in our life where it's about head down, phones on, looking and not engaging. And I'm just wondering, like, because I'd love to change that.
Yeah.
I think that once we get to know people for who they are, once we hear their stories, the world changes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going to change it. So,
Yeah.
but why does that happen, and how do we go about changing something like that?
So help me understand your question directly.
So the
like
question directly is, how do we create a community where people are comfortable to engage?
Wow.
With what's happening around.
100%. I get your I get your question. That's a really loaded question too.
I had 18 hours to think about it.
Yeah. I think that the way that we do that, to answer your question, is we have to be more diligent in being social. So here's what I mean by that. I don't mean social media. Like, how do we put the social back in social media, right? I'm working on a business right now that's involved in that, where it's really focusing on getting people off their phones and with each other, because it's so important to handle not to forget that we're humans. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people start looking at people as avatars and as profiles instead of looking at people as people. And so I think that the biggest thing is that you got to care about people. Like, I wanted to make sure that this interview was great and looked good and was in a great place and that we could do all we could because I care about you guys. You know, like, you guys came, like, I don't overlook the fact that you came 18 hours and then drove another, you know, hour or 2 hours, whatever, to get to me today. Like, I don't take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are people. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at it even bigger, like, you're on the same journey as me. You're trying to inspire people. You're trying to use this platform that you're building to create content that will help people. I don't overlook at that, you know? So I think that most people today need to be more diligent in focusing on remembering that people are not profiles. People are people. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. And that is the most important thing I think that anybody could consider. So to continue to build viewership, or to disengage people from not being engaged in person, we have to remember that people are people and not profiles. So, like, there's certain times, like, I just got back from Cabo. I was there last week, or no, 2 weeks ago. And literally, my team was tripping too, because, like, the moment I got there, they were on me, like, just needed me to respond. Yeah. And so that first day, I was, like, in it. But to be honest, another thing that I'm very, very passionate about that a lot of people don't really know is mental health. Mental health is a huge cause I'm super, super passionate about. Yeah. Because of the fact that mental health is something that's overlooked. People think that you can just cheer off, go outside, walk around. No. I've struggled with depression. I know what that feels like. I've struggled with anxiety. You guys are good. Yeah. I've struggled with depression. I've struggled with anxiety. I've struggled with, all that kind of stuff. So it's like the biggest thing for me that I think that a lot of people don't even know is that I deal with that anxiety. Like, I know what it feels like to wake up in the morning and your heart is just, like, beating because you're like, man, I got to do this, whatever. And I think that the reason why most people look or overlook mental health is because it's not appreciated in the public eye. Like, it's shunned. Like, people don't really take attention to it. And I believe that day when I began to really, really get anxious and I almost had an anxiety attack in Cabo while I'm on vacation, I literally was like, you know what? Enough. Yeah. Phone off. I'm going out. Like, and I just turned my phone off all day. It was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. Yeah. Because you really don't know how addicted you are to your phone. You are so addicted to your phone. Like, think about this, guys. How often of the day is your phone not an arm's reach away from you? You're holding your phone. It's right there on your table. It's always there. It's always there. Yeah. We have to remember we are humans. Your brain is not even built to handle that. Yeah. Like, constantly, it's not built to handle that. Yeah. So you have to make sure, I believe, you have to make sure that you have built yourself a time in your schedule that you completely decompress. Yeah, whether that's being with your wife, being with your daughter, being with your family of whatever sort, your girlfriend, your homies. Like, there's times where we'll just get together or whatever, and we just sit and chill and watch TV, and you know what I'm saying. You can't forget to be a human. And I know
you're not recording that whole moment.
Nah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take those times to just chill. It's just y'all. It's just y'all. Mm-hmm. It's just y'all. 100%. 100%.
Okay, I want to ask you this question. You have experienced a whole bunch of, there's success. I look at your site, I look at everything that you do, right? Mm-hmm. And so often we can see the success of everything, right?
100%.
And you go, okay, well, how do you get to the plane? How do you get to the stage? And people, like 99.9% of people are looking at Jay and going, how do I get to there, right? And so you've broken some of that down, right? The other part that I just want to touch on, obviously we're of time, is failure, right? Failure. So I want to ask you, how do you view failure? Is failure part of the success equation? Is it just part of the journey? Is this what people can expect? And how do you get back up when you felt like you failed?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And I'm sorry for the background noise to interrupt the interview. But
It'll be okay.
okay, perfect. So I view failure like freedom. Now, a lot of people may not necessarily see it that way, but I'm going to show you why. Failure is freedom to liberate yourself from not knowing how to do the thing you want to do.
Say it again.
So failure is freedom from not limiting yourself to not knowing how to do the thing you want to do. Think about it. If I want to make $1 million, right? And I go into it, and let's say I had an opportunity to get $1 million contract, right? But I didn't know that you needed to put X, Y, and Z in the contract in order to convert and make $1 million, or and make this thing go through to make that $1 million contract, right? When I fail and when it doesn't go through and it's rejected or whatever, guess what? I now have an opportunity to choose the freedom or the feeling of that freedom that stems from like, oh shoot, I didn't know that before. Now I know that now.
Yeah.
So if you look exactly like Hov said in the 444 album, a loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a loss is a lesson. A failure is a lesson. Yeah. So you have two unique opportunities. My brother used to say this all the time. You can either see or sit in your misery and choose to be the victim of whatever your situation that overcame you at that particular time happened or what it did to you, or you can choose to have the beautiful revelation. Yeah. And I literally choose to have the beautiful revelation in everything that I do. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a story. I was in Miami. I'm shooting with my client, Cadillac, right? And we're in Miami. I said that already, didn't I? Okay. Yeah. I'm losing track. But I was there. We were on the beach. We were shooting some content, and I walked away. I was literally down on the waves or whatever. I look back. I go back to look. Next thing you know, my camera is gone. Oh, no. Stolen. Like Gondini, right? Like legit. It's just gone. I had a moment because I thought that it was in my bag, and I asked the girl that was with us, yo, like, is my camera in my bag? And she's like, oh yeah, because we had walked off and stuff like that, and it was another camera that was there, right? Like in my bag. We had two cameras. It was another camera that was there. So I'm sitting here, I'm saying to myself, I'm pissed. Like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Thank God it was my personal brand content, it was my vlog content, not, client content. Yeah, right. And I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. So then I had a chance to just choose, where I was just like, yo, you know what? I have a chance to either choose to be the victim of their thievery. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, everybody. But like, if that's I can either be a victim, or I can choose to have the victory over this situation. I chose the victory. I'll put a post up on social media. If you ever have a chance, go back and read it. It's like a thing where I'm looking up like this, and it's from like in June somewhere. And I literally said, I forgive this person. Like, it was to the universe. I forgive this person. I'm grateful that I wasn't in harm's way. And I also wish them the best. I hope that camera serves them better than it served me. Literally, I wish that upon them, right? Put it on Instagram, put it up in the stories, talked about it. So many people were like, yo, you have no idea what that just did for me. I'm about to go forgive this person. I'm about to go do this. And I was like, wow. It took me having to go through that to be able to inspire and encourage somebody else, right? That was a loss. Like, I took an L that day. You know what I'm saying? I lost all content. But I was able to learn the lesson in it. And the lesson was, you have that choice. So what are you going to choose? I choose the victory. Literally, the week after, my now mentor, calls me into his office. He was like, I heard about what happened. I was really, really upset by that because I know how much that means to you. So take a look here. Gives me a bag. It's everything that I lost. He buys for me. Yeah. Like the exact camera, the exact model, the exact lenses, the exact tripod, like the handheld Gorilla Pod that I had. Like, everything was in that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ray Warren, my mentor. Love him so much. But like, literally, it changed my whole life, because I was like, yo, people really care. But when you don't choose to be the victim, God will never put something in front of you that he won't help you to grow and be better from, as far as a challenge goes. So you have that choice. No, no.
That's so good. Yeah.
It's just a story of communication, right? It was a story of having created who you are, you know, that when people believe in you,
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff you get.
100%.
And it's over time that you create that belief with people. You know?
Yeah.
There's people out there, yeah, it'd be cool to be an entrepreneur.
100%.
You've got to build that up, right?
100%. Literally, last thing, if this is the last thing or whatever, but my grandma gave me the best piece of advice that I think I could give anybody ever. Okay, and it's this. She said, "Baby, love God and treat people good."
Yeah.
That is, I feel like, the ultimate equation and formula for a successful life.
Yeah.
Love God and treat people good. That's what I do every day.
I love it, man.
Well, that's it, man.
Thanks.
That's it.
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, it's been, yeah, like we had this business called Vegemite. It's all
Okay.
the way from New Zealand. And there was a point where we were going to do a Vegemite challenge. But I
Oh.
was like,
Wait, is this like some nasty thing that I'm going to take and you're going to see my reaction?
And I don't know, I just kind of, I held it back, right? Because, again, with anything, you've got to be flexible.
100%.
Like,
100%.
when you're getting such gold nuggets as we are,
Yeah.
vibing in something silly just for the point.
Right.
But what
Thank you.
we love is, like, we want to connect you up in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
So, for people in New Zealand and around the world who are going to pick up on this, where can people find you? Like,
Yeah, so please follow me, man. Join the Get It Doner gang, the Get It Doner family, Get It Doner community. You can follow me at JahleelC_. So it's JAHLEELC, the letter C _. And you'll be able to find it. Join the Gig gang. You know, it's a movement. I'm super excited about the Get It Doners and what we're doing. And to answer what Get It Doners is, if you have that question, it's just people who are getting it done so they can hear well done. You know? So, yeah, join the community. Join the family.
That's awesome. Thanks so much.
100%, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys both. Yep. Don't end that live, too. I want to see what these people are saying. I want to say what's up to them off the grid. So we can flip it around. All these people.
Hold on.
Hey, just saying hello to everybody who's on there. Appreciate all of you guys. Oh, man, they said great energy from this guy. That's awesome. Appreciate all of you guys who are on here. Thank you so much for being a part of the movement.